Hello, everyone. 8 compliments that make women fall for you, proven attraction psychology. For most of their lives, many men have been complimenting women and unknowingly getting it wrong. Not because they use the wrong words, but because they misunderstand what a compliment actually does inside the human mind. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The average compliment most men rely on doesn't create attraction. In fact, it often creates subtle distance. And the strange part, the man giving it usually walks away thinking it went well. He believes he was kind, thoughtful, maybe even charming. Meanwhile, she leaves feeling neutral or slightly uncomfortable without fully knowing why. There is, however, a small group of men who have figured something out, not through manipulation, not through rehearsed lines, but through a genuine understanding of how emotional experience works. Their compliments feel different. They linger. They stay in a woman's thoughts for days. They're the kind she replays in her mind when she's alone or mentions to her friends later. Interestingly, these men are not always the most conventionally attractive or the most successful. What sets them apart is their grasp of something deeper about human psychology. This isn't about pickup lines or clever phrases designed to trick someone into liking you. That approach misunderstands attraction at its core. What we're discussing here is rooted in real psychological principles: emotional recognition, intrinsic validation, and the way the brain encodes meaningful experiences versus forgettable ones. There is a profound difference between a compliment that makes someone feel seen and one that makes them feel evaluated. Once you understand that distinction, you'll never approach compliments the same way again. Why most compliments fail? Imagine this. You meet a woman you genuinely like. She's witty, intelligent, or carries herself in a way that draws you in. At some point, you want to show interest. So you say something like, "You're really beautiful. You're so smart. I love your style." She smiles, says thank you, and the conversation continues exactly as before. No shift, no spark, no deepening of connection.
Why?
Because statements like these are what psychologists call evaluative statements. They communicate, I assessed you, and you passed. Even if unintended, this positions you as the judge and her as the one being judged. That subtle dynamic creates emotional distance rather than closeness. There's another issue: familiarity and generality. "You're beautiful" is likely something she has heard many times. It doesn't reveal anything specific about her, nor anything meaningful about you. The human brain naturally discounts information that isn't novel, personal, or emotionally resonant. The result? The compliment fades almost instantly. 3 psychological foundations. Before understanding powerful compliments, you must understand 3 key psychological triggers. 1. Validation versus recognition. Validation says, "You're good." Recognition says, "I noticed something specific about you." Validation activates reward circuitry. It feels nice briefly, but doesn't create attachment. Recognition activates something deeper: the experience of being genuinely understood. Most people don't crave approval nearly as much as they crave being seen. When someone feels truly seen beyond their appearance, beyond their status, beyond their performance, it creates a powerful emotional imprint. Specificity is essential here. A generic compliment cannot create genuine recognition because it isn't personal. 2. Emotional safety as the foundation of attraction. Many people assume attraction is built primarily through excitement and chemistry. While novelty and confidence matter, deeper attraction often grows through emotional safety. When someone feels genuinely safe, not managed, not manipulated, but safe, their nervous system relaxes, their guard lowers, and only then can attraction fully develop. Compliments that focus heavily on appearance or carry hidden expectations often reduce safety. Compliments that communicate, "I'm interested in who you are, not just what you look like," build it. Safety opens people. Pressure closes them. 3. Celebration versus approval. Approval is a verdict. Celebration is delight. Approval says, "You meet my standard." Celebration says, "The fact that this exists in you genuinely makes me happy." Most people have been complimented. Few have been truly celebrated for something real and specific about who they are. Celebration feels like a gift. It bypasses skepticism because it doesn't feel strategic. It feels sincere. Underscore the 8 types of compliments that actually create connection. Here are 8 forms of compliments that resonate deeply. 1. The specific observation. Instead of "you're funny," say something like, "The way you paused before the punchline just now. That timing was perfect. You're not evaluating. You're observing. That communicates presence and attention. 2. The quality behind the quality. Don't just praise visible traits. Name the underlying character trait. Instead of you're driven, say, the way you talk about your work. It's not ambition. It's that you genuinely care about doing it right. You're acknowledging the source, not the surface. 3. The growth recognition. Recognize change or development. I remember when that used to make you anxious. The way you handled it now is different. This honors effort and evolution, not just fixed traits. 4. The undefended truth. A precise observation that can't be easily dismissed as flattery. You form your opinion quickly, but you wait to see if others speak first. When someone realizes you're accurate, it creates a subtle emotional pull. 5. The courage acknowledgement. When she shares something vulnerable, say calmly, "That took something to say, I respect that." Vulnerability met with steadiness builds profound safety. 6. The "you don't realize how rare this is" compliment. Help her see the value of something she takes for granted. The way you notice that person's mood and adjusted. Most people don't do that. You're reframing her self-perception in a meaningful way. 7. The indirect compliment. Speak positively about her when she's not present. Compliments delivered indirectly are trusted more because they aren't perceived as performance. 8. The compliment that costs you something. This is the deepest level. Talking to you challenges me in a good way. You make it easier to be honest than I usually am. These require vulnerability. They reveal that she affects you, and people are drawn to those they can genuinely move. 7. The indirect compliment. Speak positively about her when she's not present. Compliments delivered indirectly are trusted more because they aren't perceived as performance. 8. The compliment that costs you something. This is the deepest level. Talking to you challenges me in a good way. You make it easier to be honest than I usually am. These require vulnerability. They reveal that she affects you, and people are drawn to those they can genuinely move. Presence is the real skill. None of this works if delivered from a script. Most social interactions are fragmented. Part of our attention is on the other person, but much of it is on ourselves. How we're coming across, what to say next, whether we're being judged. Powerful compliments arise from full attention. Listen without preparing your response. Notice small details. Allow silence. When you see something real, say it calmly, not intensely, not performatively, not waiting for validation in return. Say it because it's true. The difference between connection and pressure is self-sufficiency. If you don't need something back, your words feel safe. The real goal? These compliments cannot manufacture attraction where none exists, nor should they. They simply allow genuine connection to deepen instead of being buried under generic interaction. The goal isn't to engineer feelings. The goal is to stop interfering with real ones. Most compliments fail because they start with a standard beauty, intelligence, success, and measure someone against it. Meaningful compliments move in the opposite direction. They begin with the person who she is in this specific moment and attempt to put language to what is genuinely there. That isn't a transaction. It's a gift. And when you learn to pay that kind of attention, not as a strategy, but as a way of being, it transforms not only how you connect romantically, but how you connect with everyone. Because attention, in its purest form, is love. People can feel the difference between being looked at and being truly seen. Be someone who truly sees.